to the road to a million. Katie, are we going to get there? Is this thing ever going to happen?
Who knows? But time will tell.
Time will tell. Time will tell. Yeah. So if you guys are here for the road to a million call, you're in the right spot. We're going to be documenting the journey we've been going on now for 10 months since March, of us taking a location that we started with 0 clients and taking it to $83,000 a month. And it's super easy to do such things. So much so that we decided to share this journey because, it was going to be so easy. Yeah, it is proving to be challenging. And I thought that this part of the journey would technically be easier. But I think it's just because it was the only, where I came into our first cleaning business, was around this mark, around 40,000. Katie had got the business to about 40,000 a month, and I still had a gym. We were still buying real estate, and I was very much not doing cleaning business stuff for the first year and a half that we had it. And then around July of 2022, so it's been a little over 2 years, is when I made the commitment to go all in on this cleaning business. Actually, Katie let me come into the cleaning business. She's the one who grew the thing, and I asked her if I could be part of it and I could help and offer any sort of wisdom that I had, and she agreed. And that's when I kind of came to the cleaning business, and we started doing vision meetings, which is what we're doing now with you guys. We're just doing them now publicly with this company, and just sharing the data of what happened and strategies on what we need to do based on what happened, so we can continue to actually predictably grow the business. And so, when we started doing our first vision meeting was in July of 2022, and then fast forward 1 year later, 1 year later, the business had grown to over $100,000 a month. And so that was my experience with the first location. I was like, this is easy, right? You just got to come in here and talk out loud for an hour every single week and tell people what to do, and then the magic happens. And so it was the first $40,000 that I wasn't a part of, that Katie built this thing up, without me being part of it. And so I was very afraid of that, just because I'd never done it before. I'm a human like the rest of you guys. Anyone here not humans? Anyone here not humans? Raise your hand if you're not a human. Yeah, Chris-ish. Justin's like, yeah. And so I had never built a cleaning business from 0 to 40 before. So I was hesitant, and I drug my feet for probably 6 months. I paid someone $1,000 an hour to drag my feet for $1,000 an hour 4 times a week for almost a year, by the way. So do the math on that. For him to tell me to start a cleaning business, another cleaning business, and I drug my feet till I eventually said yes. And because I just fear. Didn't know what I didn't know. And so we started the cleaning business in March of 2024, and just me and Katie, and James. Actually, James is on here. So some of you guys know James. You guys, the OGs, know who James is. You guys love James. James helps this community out a ton. If James were not here, this community would be less than without James. So James helps me a ton, helps Katie out a ton, and James also helped us in Base 5-star cleaning. He was actually our virtual assistant in that location to start with. It was just us three. And so I did all the office stuff. Katie did all the cleaning. That was for about the first 12 weeks. And then we got to probably 4 or 5 cleaners. And then Katie and a trainer. Katie, do you remember who our first trainer was? Still a trainer.
Jocelyn,
yeah. Jocelyn and Lindsay were our first 2 trainers. And those were the 2 gals who afforded Katie the opportunity to get out of the field. And so Jocelyn's actually still with us. Lindsay no longer with us, but Jocelyn's still with us. And so that afforded Katie to get out of the field. We had a trainer, and then our trainer trained all the new cleaners that came on. And then we got to probably about 8 or 9 cleaners, and we got up to between $30,000 and $40,000. I'm not exactly sure where this transition happened, but that's where we hired 2 office people at about $40,000 of revenue, which then replaced me out of the operations completely, and then just a month later replaced Katie out of the operations of the office. And then So that was about six months in, and now it's been 4 months since. And so as of now, Kitty is doing. What are you doing, Kitty? What do you do besides sit in the office?
Oh, I just sit here.
Just sit there. Yeah, she observes. So we do team meetings. So this morning, as an example, we had our team meeting. So Kitty does that. I do that as well. Kitty leads it, and I say things in between her saying things, and then Kitty approves payroll. So one of our VAs. Now we have a full-time VA for this location, and she actually prepares payroll, and then Kitty just approves it, double checks it essentially, and then my role is actually to train and hire and even fire office staff. So we have 2 office girls, and we actually have a 3rd office staff girl that just started. Technically, she started last week. She shadowed. We basically wanted to see if she liked the job and if we liked her in the office, and seemed like a good first couple days. And so I onboarded her this morning, and I will train her, and obviously I will continue to train the other 2 office gals as well. But that is my job, is basically to coach and teach our office gals how to make sales, how to fill clear schedules, how to convert those initial sales into recurring, how to respond to clients within 5 minutes, and how to find solutions to make people happy. That's really what my job is to coach those things to our office staff. And in between all that, then we get to do fun calls like this and share exactly how we're growing this location. So for all you guys who are brand new, that's the story of how this all happened today. This is 40 something weeks in that we've been doing this call. We've been doing it since week 1. And so if you guys are interested, anyone here want to go listen to week number 1? Is anyone interested in listening to week number 1? Yeah. So if you guys want to listen to week number 1, you guys actually can go listen to my podcast. So I have a podcast that last week was the first time I even shared it with anybody in a long time. I mean, I've shared it in the past, but it's been a long time since let's define long time. It's probably been 2 years since I've shared that I had a podcast. And so I've actually had this podcast since 2020. So if you want to go way, way back, you can hear me talk about fitness. You can hear me talk about real estate. If you guys really are curious about all that fun. If you want to hear me talk about those fun things, there's definitely smarter people I would recommend talking about fitness and real estate, listening to that advice. But if you want to hear me from my context talk about fitness and real estate, you can go back and listen to that. I don't recommend it. I do recommend listening to me about cleaning business. I think that I can help you better with the cleaning business than I can with other 2 things. So James just dropped the link for the podcast. If you guys want to go through the podcast, yeah, I've been putting the podcast on there from week number 1 all the way to, I'm not sure where it's at right now, but we continue to document this journey. So you can go listen to those as well. But without further ado, let's actually get into this week, and let's talk about what happened in Mesa 5-star cleaning from, what are the dates we're looking at here? From December 7th to December 13th, 2024. So I'm going to share my guys' screen so you guys can see this here. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is the Mesa 5-star vision sheet. So let's get into it here. All right, so the projected monthly revenue. So the projected monthly revenue for the month of December is $54,600. That's up from last week, which was $52,300. So growth, not much growth, but a little bit of growth, which is good to see. Revenue, or month-to-date revenue. What's our month-to-date revenue, Katie? What is this number?
27,951.
Yeah, so halfway through the month, we're at 27,951. So that's a little shy of 60,000, which that is what we are attempting to hit this month. We'll see what happens, but that would be a nice little milestone if we hit 60,000 this month. Weekly revenue was 13,872. So yeah, it's a little shy of 14,000, which would have been right in a good range for us. So I think our best is 14,605. So it's about $800 shy of that. So it's in the ballpark. It's not a bad week at all. Recurring clients. Okay, what happened to our recurring clients?
It stayed the same.
Stayed the same. Yeah. Not for without effort, and as you guys will see at the bottom, we definitely got some recurring clients. But what else happened?
We lost some recurring clients.
You're not supposed to cancel. Don't they know that? You're not supposed to cancel.
The kids will not have Christmas presents this year. It's fine.
You want to cancel your recurring service? Okay, I guess my kids won't get Christmas this year. Ooh. All right. You can't cancel. Weekly total claims, we had 56. So I think the most we've ever had is 60 in this location. So that's pretty exciting. Again, right in the neighborhood. And then 248. What do you think about that number, Katie?
I like that number. It's great. We're selling bigger claims.
Yeah. That 250 mark is cool. So like our original goal then when we reset this was at 200. And that's because we were selling smaller claims. And lately we definitely been selling bigger claims. And so this revenue per claim has definitely jumped up. So when we redo our goals, our quarterly goals, which will happen this week, then this number will probably get updated as well. Which brings me to my next point. So some of you guys here are in the advisor coaching program. And so if you're in advisor, we are doing a special Q1 goals meeting for everybody in advisor. It's going to be 12:30 Eastern time on this Thursday. So I will announce it tomorrow on the coaching call, and each of you guys who are an advisor on your coaching calls this week will remind you, but definitely get on that because we're going to be doing, for the first time ever, we're going to be doing Q1 quarterly goals, walking through the process of actually how to get these green goals that are on the sheet, how to get those all set up to increase the probability you can hit your Q1 goals. And for Q1, if anyone doesn't know what that term is, quarter one. And so the quarters of a year broken down into four different units. And so Q1 is going to be January, February, and March. So Q1 goals is going to be, what are our goals for January, February, and March of 2025? Yes, people, we are moving to 2025. How crazy is that? Not really that crazy since we've been in, 2024 now for 366 days minus 15, minus 14, minus 15. So what is that? What's the math on that? 351 days. We've been in 2024 for 351 days, guys. Get over it. It's time to move on. We're moving on to 2025, okay? So, anyway, for everybody inside advisor, make sure you guys block off your schedule for that Thursday call. It's going to be pretty cool. Cleaners. Our number of cleaners goal is 14, and we are currently at 12.
Boo.
Boo is bad, yeah. Although one cleaner just didn't work last week, so that's why it's down at least one. But we did have to let some cleaners go. But that's okay. It's part of the game. Average assigned cleaning hours last week was 26, so this is actually pretty close to our 28. And then our assigned cleaning hours was 256. So yeah, not amazing, definitely not terrible. Just it's good. It's good. It was a good week. So now we're going to move down to those are our goals, and we're going to walk through each process or each system or each section of the business. So the first section is going to be revenue. So we're going to break down the revenue a bit more clear. So for ZenMaid, we actually billed $27,951 for the month. We've received $25,880 inside QuickBooks. Katie, why is this number different?
There's a lag. So when you bill somebody, and even if you automatically charge their card, it has to hit in Stripe first, or your credit card processor, and then that credit card processor also has to transfer that to your bank account. So sometimes it could be up to 7 business days to see a billed dollar hit your bank account.
And then even like, what did you do this morning? That also can cause a lag between the billing and the depositing of the money.
I went to the bank for the first time this month, so I've had $1,000 of cash sitting in my wallet, as well as about $1,000 in checks. Usually I deposit the checks via direct deposit, but I was going to the bank to do the cash. So
yeah, and this is one of the reasons. So for people who are starting in the business, they're like, I don't like to credit cards. I only want to take cash and check because people are afraid of paying the service fee, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is anymore. 0.03% or 3% or 4%. I don't even know what it is. Whatever. The credit cards definitely charge you some money. Okay. Eventually, as you get more mature in business, you understand that that's just a cost of business, and that cost is attention, and it's worth the cost. And so I hate when people pay us with cash and check. Absolutely freaking hate it because of this reason. Because we forget about it. We don't go to the bank but once a month. And I'm just the probability of us having lost money because we didn't go to the bank, or Katie probably has $1,000 in her wallet and she thinks it's hers, so she's out there buying like Louis Vuitton and fancy wallets, like probably very high, right? So as much as it seems nice to have not to pay the credit card fees, I promise you, eventually as you get more mature, you'll be happy when people pay with credit card rather than paying you with cash or check. So, but with that being said, there is always a difference in between the billed and the received for that reason.
And for those of you that are wondering, you actually can't buy Louis Vuitton in cash. So.
Oh, there we go. Now you know.
I just made that up, but it sounded good.
Cool. We only accept the gold cards here. That's actually what it is. Okay.
That's right. They understand the convenience. Like they're not going to go to the bank either. They want the card. They'll pay the convenience fee.
Cash? Gross. So petty.
That's dirty.
It's dirty. Don't touch me that. Don't give me that cash. Okay. So this week's revenue. So we had 13,872 in ZenMade billed revenue, and let's break that down. So this was a number that I never used to track, and then Jessica and Lucas, they've been in the advisor program from day one. They're the oldest of the OGs in that program. He actually started breaking this number down, and I really like it, and so that's why I look at it, and now it's part of the new vision sheet that is out for everybody as well. And the reason I like it is because it shows you if your business is growing, and it shows you what your reoccurring is as well, like how stable your business is. So you can see here that out of our 13,000 last week, 7,000 was new money. And honestly, it's 6,800, but let's just call it 7,000. 7,000 was old money. So like half of our business is reoccurring, half of our business is new money. So Katie, if you were to interpret that data, what does it mean?
That's a great question. So new money is somebody who we've not had the opportunity to serve before. Old money is somebody who is on a recurring cadence with us and they love our service and they're frequent buyers.
Yeah. So the old money is what creates predictability and stability in your business. The new money is going to be dependent on how fast your business is growing, or even if your business is growing. However, here's how they work together. How many of you guys want your recurring revenue to go up? How many of you guys want to wake up with $1 million business to start the month because it's all reoccurring? Anybody want that?
Sounds good.
Where do you find those people at? Where do you find the people who are going to turn into recurring clients?
They first have to be new clients.
There we go. It comes from the $7,000. So if you want to increase your recurring money, get some new people on the schedule, because those new people are your opportunities to turn them into recurrings. And so that's a really cool thing about this business, is that if you want your business to grow, new money is going to help the business grow, but it's also going to keep the business growing if you're able to convert them to recurring. Okay. So this is what this number shows me, is the business growing. Cool. And then how much of this 7,000 can we turn into recurring? I'm just playing that game week after week after week. Okay. And so if you guys are wondering, like, how have you grown a business to almost $60,000 a month in 10 months? This is how, right here. Like, this is actually the reason, because we sell $7,000 a week, and we're able to turn some of that money into recurring, and it just compounds every single week, every single month. Eventually, it'll be years. Okay. It will continue to compound for years. All right. So revenue, outstanding, less than 7 days. So any money that's been billed that hasn't been collected, we have about $2,000 that's less than 7 days old, and then anything that is over 7 days is $233. So that's pretty good. Less than 7 days. That's pretty common that we have people who haven't hit their credit cards yet. So that's okay. Discounts. This number is one of the bigger ones I've seen. So we had $1,000 in discounts last week. So we had 2 correction cleans. We had a bunch of Google review discounts. So this 10% discount, we give away 10% for everybody who writes his Google reviews. So we had $102 of that. We had 50-page homepage vouchers. We had 4 people go through and book online. That's actually pretty sweet. I actually like that a lot. And then Christmas voucher. So this is what we use to fill our cleaner schedules last minute, is we sent out a Christmas voucher where we offered $100 off a deep clean. Actually, $125. Excuse me. Look at that. $125 off a deep clean. And we got 4 people to take that looks like we have 5 though. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 5 people. So that should not. So actually should be higher, correct, Katie? 5
Yeah.
times 25, so it should be 600. So we'll make a note for Rhea. But yeah, so actually $600. So even more. What the heck? What the heck? So, but again, part of growing a business, you got to pay. You got to pay. You got to pay to grow the business. And so you can either pay with your time, or you can pay with your money. And one way will get you faster. One way will get you there faster, right? So speaking of money and paying to grow your business, let's talk about marketing. Okay. So actually, it's kind of funny. This is what we would consider internal marketing. So now we actually have external marketing. So when it comes to external marketing, we pay for marketing in 2 places primarily. Actually, only 2 places. Google Local Services, not to be confused with Google PPC or Google Ads. There's a difference. Google LSA, and then Facebook. Okay. So we spent $477 on Google LSA, and we spent $1,200 on Facebook for a total of $1,700. Our ad spend goal is $1,500, so we exceeded our ad spend goal, which was pretty cool. Okay, look at this number. Look how many leads we got from Facebook last week.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I've been readjusting the ads. I've been playing with them mainly because I've been having to play with our first location, our Bozeman location. I've been playing with their ads a little bit more to get better lead costs. And while I was in there, I was like, I might as well just play with the Mesa ads as well. And so I've been able to bring that lead cost down. So we got 84 leads just from Facebook. We had a Facebook Messenger lead. We had 4 missed calls. We had 7 Google Local Service leads. We had 8 homepage leads. We had 13 incoming call leads. That number is awesome to see. We had 13 people who just called our office, guys. Just 13 people who were not contacts, who were not already clients of ours. We had 13 people call our office inquiring about cleaning. Would anybody want that? Would anyone want that? You just want 13 random people calling your business saying, "Can I
No, then I would have to answer the phone.
Exactly. Sorry. That used to be a thought of mine too. And I've definitely coached people who were afraid to answer the phone. But I'm telling you guys, like this number is exciting. A lot of our same day cleans, same day bookings, next day bookings, they come off people calling.
Just booked one today.
Just booked one a day. And guess, Katie. Well, you don't guess because you were there. But everybody else guess. Who took this incoming call? Our brand new girl who started today. Now guess. Did she close it? Katie, tell them the truth. Don't lie to
Yes.
them.
Yes, she
Katie,
did.
I said the truth.
She did. It's on the schedule. I see it.
Oh, okay. So, if you guys want to get leads that you can be on your freaking day one, you can go from the cleaning field to the office, never have done a freaking sale in your life, and close the very first person you talk to because they're calling you, get some incoming call leads. These are the best freaking leads. People love Facebook leads, which is hilarious. They're like probably one of the hardest leads to close, right? You know what the easiest leads to close are? These ones, incoming call leads. The second easiest, homepage leads. Maybe referrals is in there too somewhere. I'm not sure where referrals lies in there, but like these 3 are the easiest ones to close. These are the ones that people get the least amount of leads from. This is the sexy one. I want Facebook leads. I want LSA leads. By the way, you do want those leads, but it's the spin-off. It's the spit off from these leads, from these marketing sources that get you these leads. Okay, these are the ones that are just like, take my credit card, take my gold card, Kitty. Right? And so we got 117 leads last week. Just last week, $12 a lead. 13. Let's round it up to 13. That's one of the better. It's been one of the better lead costs that I've seen from this location. It's pretty crazy, actually. Usually we're in like $16 to $17 range, so pretty cool. So if you get 117 leads, are you going to get some closes? Maybe. We'll see. Here we go. Right. I'm excited for this one. So some of you guys, let me see who's on here. Some of you guys have been on here for a long time, or on this call a long time. You guys have been watching these calls since the beginning, right? We've been doing these calls for 40 weeks. And so generally our sales have been pretty good. And this week they shit, and I'm excited for it. So I'm going to show you guys how you can have amazing marketing and you can have shit sales. And understanding that the converting of the leads is the most important thing you can do. Okay, doesn't matter how good your lead cost is. If you don't convert them, who cares? So last week, our two office girls, Megan and Keziah, had 268 phone calls between the two of them. We had 60 incoming calls answered, 30 missed, 27 calls scheduled, 16 showed, 50 performed. 50 performed is pretty good. That's standard for us. I went back and looked at it. 50 performed quote calls is the least that we've done in the last 4 months. Like, that's our baseline. We do 50 quote calls. We perform 50 quote calls every single week. This number is the lowest that we've ever seen. 18. We had less than 20, right? And look at this. This booking percentage is the worst booking percentage we've ever had, 36%. And despite all the worst numbers that we've ever had, we still almost put $8,000 in the books against $1,700 ad spend, right? How many of you guys would spend $1,700 to make $8,000 of new money on the books?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Cool. So despite it being a shitty week, it was good enough. It was still good enough, right? And from there, we actually converted 4 people into recurring. And so $777 of monthly revenue was added. Okay. We had only 7 spots unfilled last week. So, yeah, that number is actually, yeah, it is what it is. 10 to 20 is kind of where we like to see it. So this is kind of a lower number. We'd like to have a little bit more flexibility with the scheduling. And so Kate and I talked about this right before this call of that we need more cleaners. we're running into the issue. We just don't have enough cleaners. This is pretty scary. If cleaners call out, or we have a last second clean that needs to be added to the schedule, whether it's a new client or even guys, here's reality. Correction cleans also need to be added to the calendar as well. If you have no spots, then you could potentially end up losing that client because you don't have ability to like go back and fix your work. Okay, which happens. Expectation. You guys ready for this? Here's my expectation, and this is, I think, the reason why it's hard to upset me. Although I did get upset last week, and I will share with you exactly what it was. But it's hard for me to get upset because I expect to go back twice every single clean on the first cleans. Like if we knock it out of the park on the first one, cool. But I expect to go back every single time because we're doing a sight unseen quote. We're booking another quote. We're basically having to rely on the client giving us accurate information. We're having to rely on the office staff being able to ask good questions. And then we're putting a cleaner in there who's talked to neither party being like, I'm going to go help. I'm going to go do a 5-star experience. And so if you just understand the reality that we're doing, why do you expect to knock it out of the park the very first time? And that's my thought process. And I do everything we possibly can to increase the probability that we do knock it out of the park on the very first time. But I am not surprised when we have correction cleans. I'm not surprised when we miss things. I'm not surprised when it doesn't get communicated properly, the expectation of the client to the cleaner. It's okay. And so if I expect that, then I also need to make room on the schedule to make sure that if a client says, hey, you missed this, you missed this, you missed this, and my office gal's like, hey, let us please come back and fix it. We want to be able to make sure we deliver a 5-star experience, so let's help you out. She's like, okay, but can you come back tomorrow? You're like, heck, yes, we can come back tomorrow. Because speed is also important when it comes to correction. It's like, let me fix it, but let me check my schedule. I'll get you in 2025. Does that sound good to you? Like, be the client, guys. Be the client. If someone made a mistake, are they really taking ownership by fixing it 2 weeks later? Or taking ownership by coming back the next day? Or sometimes even come back the same day. So just because you fix it, there's different levels of value in fixing. Speed is the key. Speed is the key. Okay? Speed is the value in this business. So this number, a little low. We need more cleaners. And we got 30 spots open this week. So we'll see how we fill those spots this week. Speaking of cleaners, we're spending money on cleaners because we need them. So we spent $368 last week on cleaners. We got 43 applicants. We had 19 phone interviews scheduled. We had 13 performed. You know what's super exciting about this, guys? Katie, how many of these phone interviews did you do last week?
None.
Ooh, yes. So this is the first time since Mesa 5 Stars Cleaning's birth in August of 2024 that neither Katie or I did phone interviews. Pretty exciting, right? We held on to this onto this duty for a long time, and I'll also tell you guys why, because I actually just shared this with on a call earlier today. So when I finally understood that we were not in the cleaning business, but we were in the recruiting business, I was like, okay, we need to go all in on recruiting, which means spending money, hiring, and onboarding new cleaners, right? And so when we started this location, I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure out this process. I'm gonna hold on to this process for as long as possible. And I held on to this recruiting process. I did phone interviews and I did Zoom interviews for probably the first 7 months of Mesa 5-Star Cleaning. Okay, I did all of them. And then it was right along this time that I finally understood that there was a piece that I was missing, is that recruiting is very important. Again, one of the most important things in this business, outside of getting new cleans on the schedule, I would say it's, it's like getting new cleans on the schedule and getting new cleaners, like they go hand in hand. Okay. But the thing that it took me 7 months to realize was that the skill to get new cleaners was actually very low, but the importance was very high. And so it took me a long time to understand that, is that like, it's very, very important, but the skill to be able to perform it is very, very low. And so then I handed it off to Katie, and without even like training her, she was able to pick it up. And I was like, okay, cool. So again, very, very important, but the ability to teach somebody how to do it, like I literally could send her videos and make a training and she could watch it and she could do it without really asking me questions. Okay. And then now Katie did the same thing. She handed it to one of our office gals. Now she did it, very similar process. It didn't take a ton of training for her to teach somebody else how to do this job. Okay. Now, if we compare that to sales as an example, sales, very, very important. The skill to teach sales, a little bit higher, right? It takes a lot more training, it takes a lot more coaching, it takes a lot more work to make somebody better at sales, the skill of filling the schedule, than it is to doing recruiting. And so that for me helped a ton. And that's how we held on to it for so long, because it's very, very important. It probably has the biggest ratio between importance and skill level that's the cleaning business. Like probably one it's tied for number one, but also like very, very simple to do. So that's where I think just understanding that just really helped me be okay with somebody else doing it. But I also understand the process very, very well because I did it for 7 months. So I can coach them, I can teach them, and I can look at the data and be able to see like, well, something's missing here. Something's not right. And I can dig in and figure out what the problem is. So now phone interviews, now move to Zoom interviews. So we did 11 scheduled Zoom interviews and 8 of those Zoom interviews showed up. Insane. And then Katie, did you do all 8 of these last week?
No, I believe I only did about 3.
Yeah, amazing. And so this week, Katie will do 0 this week. So Katie will be fully removed from the recruiting. So we spent 10 months doing the recruiting because, again, it is very, very important. And we wanted to nail down the process and system so that when we talk to somebody else, not only could we teach it to somebody else, but we could also manage it throughout the remainder of the business's existence, because we just understood the skill. So we can definitely teach it. We can look for the problems in it even before they happen. And then we have cleaners hired. We had 0. Why do we have 0 cleaners hired?
It's a good question. I don't make that decision.
Yeah. So I think we offered, Katie, right? Did we offer cleaners? We just didn't get any acceptance.
I do. Well, I think one accepted and then had a car issue or something. I don't remember.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So that being said, though, we need to hire more cleaners because this 0 is not going to help us grow.
No.
It's not helping us. We need to hire some people. So Trina is currently in training. Is that correct? Yeah.
And has COVID.
She has COVID. And then Andre is also in training. He should be done by the end of this week. These graduation dates, I don't think they're correct, but they should be for the end of this week.
Correct.
20th. Yeah. 20th. Veronica, I think she didn't make it, correct?
Correct.
We should do this. And then Emmy is scheduled for after Christmas. So,
yep.
Yeah, so our pipeline is looking sad. We have 2 cleaners. Andre is doing really well. Trina is actually doing really well. She just has gotten sick as of Friday. She has the vid, and then we have nobody else in the pipeline. So that number is actually pretty scary. So we need to, make sure that we get more people into the pipeline to help out our current cleaners. Speaking of them, so our current cleaners, Jocelyn 31 hours, Alyssa 29, Tiffany 27, Kayla 29, Asia 27, Amanda 19, Nikki 28, Michaela 16, Alex 31, and Nicole Peace 15. So we had our 2 trainees who got 26 hours apiece. Emma was actually also another cleaner. She actually hurt her hand, and so it was kind of a unique thing. So I'll actually tell you guys a story. So when Emma first got hired, I was like, I'm like, I think there might be something there, Katie. I remember telling Katie that, and then probably within the first couple of weeks, I remember asking Keziah, our other office manager, I was like, if we had to bring anybody else into the office, like, just out of curiosity, like, who do you see who could potentially do well in the office? And she was like, Emma. I was like, yeah, that's what I see as well. And then not last week, the week before, Emma actually reached out to us in her WhatsApp chat, and actually she didn't reach out to us. Another cleaner reached out and said, Emma's hand is hurting. She's trying to push through this, but I can see she's in tears. So Emma didn't even tell us this. She wouldn't even tell us. And then we reached out to her, and yeah, she sprained her hand. And so, but she didn't want to tell us, right? She was like, she's trying to push through it. And then so we ended up giving her, I think that was like a Thursday or Friday. Do you remember, Katie, exactly when that was?
I don't remember what day.
Yeah, it was either Thursday or Friday. So we gave her the rest of the day off, and then she showed up to the team meeting last week, and yeah, she was wearing a brace, and had a conversation with us at the meeting, and she was like, yeah, it's like really painful. And so we took the cleans off her schedule, and she was like very thankful. And I had a meeting with her, and I was like, hey, just out of curiosity, what do you think about the office? You have any interest in potentially coming to the office, learning different skill sets? And she was like, yeah, I really do. And so we had her shadow last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the office, just to see if she had any interest in it. And we got her on a couple sales calls, and at all the same time, we were able to pay her while she's in the office learning, and just to see if it was even an option while her hand healed. And after that, we're like, she liked it. I think that she has potential. And so then we offered her to come into the office part-time, and so cleaning part-time as well, as we just continue to see if she is going to do well in the office. And so that's the story of how we got Emma in the office, and why she didn't clean last week is because her hand was hurt. And I told her, I was like, I'm really glad your hand got hurt, because I've got an opportunity to see if we got an opportunity for you to learn new skills and to see if you can become more valuable to the company. And so, yeah. So that's how that whole came to be. But she was in the office this morning, and she actually just left, and you guys probably saw her in the background in Katie's screen, and now she's going out to do a clean. So she'll have some hours next week, and then I'll keep you guys updated on how she does in the office. And yeah. So that being said, we had 10 cleaners at work, 2 trainees, so we had 12 total cleaners, 25 hours, and then our actual man hour rate was $55 an hour, or $54 an hour, excuse me. Correction cleans, we had 2 correction cleans. Yeah, who knows what happened? Looks like we just had 2 correction cleans. Missed areas. What happened? So again, part of the game. Out of how many new cleans did we have, Katie, last week? Do you remember? Oh, is it down here? Maybe it's down here. That's why I haven't seen it yet. We had 39 new cleans last week, and we only had 2 correction cleans. Not bad.
No, it's great. I think we crushed your expectation that you said earlier. You expect to go back 39 times for 39 new cleans, and we only went back twice, so that's pretty good.
But those 2 times, I would have been very disappointed. I've been very disappointed if we had to go back, if I would expect it not to ever go back. One-on-ones. Actually, I did not do my report. I just realized this. So I'm going to type this in right now, because I did not do my report. But I did a one-on-one with Alyssa. I did a one-on-one with Tiffany last week.
Wow. I think this is the first time ever, you guys, that Logan has not done a report.
I just realized that.
Ever.
So, see, this is what happens. I need to get fired. 12.
Wow.
12. Oh, and I actually did one with Emma too. That was on the 10th. Okay. Excuse me for not doing reports, guys. That's my fault. See? Bad boy. Okay. But these are the reports. And then you guys will see here that because I had also one-on-ones last week too, which was pretty cool. So funny story about this one is that she asked Michaela to do a one-on-one, and then we always do the one-on-ones about 30 minutes before, or not about 30 minutes before the first claim. And so our claim started at 9 o'clock. And so we did this first one-on-one at 8:30. And then I look at the WhatsApp chat, and Michaela's like, do you want me to come inside? And because I was like, no, it's just a phone call. And she's like, well, I'm here at the office. And so back to giving better directions. And so I was like, Keziah, my bad, because I gave her directions on going and getting Michaela on a one-on-one, but I did not give her a script. So I went and updated it and gave her a script that said this will be a phone call to then ensure future situations that the cleaners don't show up to the office, that they can simply just do the one-on-one from their car on their way to their first claim. So client fulfillment, again, we did 56 claims last week. 39 were new claims, 17 were reoccurring. We had 2 correction claims, and we had 6 new Google reviews last week. So we have 126 recurring clients, 59 reoccurring clients, occasional clients, and we have 314 5-star reviews. So this morning we actually did a Google review party. We did a 300 review Google review party for our team, giving them some love, and they actually all brought stuff. So we did it potluck style. Katie, what were some of the highlights of the things that were brought this morning?
This blueberry pancake casserole thing was ungodly good. There's muffins. There's whatever that board, that fancy charcuterie board.
Charcuterie.
There's still lots of goodies over here. Yeah. Lots of food. Tons of food.
Granola bars. Yeah, so it was awesome to see. And we just did it at our team meeting. So we just had everyone bring it, and they were eating while we were presenting the team meeting. So
not an ounce of protein.
Zero protein, sir. No. You don't celebrate with protein. You don't celebrate with chicken, bro.
Well, it's hilarious because when I made breakfast for everybody, I was like, don't worry, don't bring anything. I'll do it all. Nobody ate it because it was all protein. It's comical. They ate it all to this morning. It was great. Yeah. It's all gone.
And muffins too. And there was muffins, homemade muffins, not
homemade muffins.
Store-bought, homemade muffins. Yeah. Okay, so this is the reason that we didn't net any recurring clients, is because we did gain 4. You can see here we had 2 biweeklies. That's actually pretty awesome. This number again is not correct. We got way more than $700 of new recurring money. So again, I will make another note for this, but these numbers are actually great. What is the math on this, Katie? Do the math for me while I talk about this for a second. So we added 4 new recurring clients, but we also lost 4 recurring clients over here. And it's kind of funny. It looks like we had 2 biweeklies too. So dang it. So look at that.
So 4 minus 4 is 0.
Yeah, so we netted 0. Good. I'll give you better directions. Will you add up the total amount of monthly revenue associated with the new recurring clients and give it to me in denominations of dollars? USD. Okay? USD, please. All right, so that's why we stayed the same, because we did grab 4, we did lose 4. And so again, expectation, you're going to lose clients. Dang it, Logan, very disappointed, but it's okay. I understand it's part of the game, okay? And Andrea Franklin, in all fairness, like she had canceled, I think, like 4 of her last 5 claims anyway, so it wasn't a surprise for her. And then look at this number. Woo! Look at that. That's a big number. All right, Kitty, can I move on yet, or are you going to tell me what that number is?
No. 1674 new recurring, but lost recurring.
No, I don't want the lost recurring. I just want the new one. So the 1674 should have been up here. That's what I'm looking for right here. So see where it says new converted projected client revenue? This number should be 1677. Or what was the number you said?
1674.
Cool. Yeah. So I'll make a video for Ray so she can fix that, so she's more clear on the directions that we want it to be the monthly projected revenue.
I have an idea. Maybe we should put the equation at the bottom of this client fulfillment new recurring as like total monthly recurring, and then it's a gray box above.
Genius. See? He's so smart. So client fulfillment, canceled claims during the week. So we had a big, let's just define big. We had 14 claims that canceled last week. And so a lot of them actually did cancel last week. Like this was a big cancellation week. Crazy. So we had over $2,600 in cancellations. And let's see, out of the breakdown, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are reoccurring, and a lot were one time. So this was, yeah. So this was a big number of one-time cancellations. So one of the biggest ones we've seen. A lot of these actually were like same days. Like look at this one. There was 3 on the same day.
I think 2 of those were our own faults because we ran late on a morning clean, so we ended up rescheduling them.
I see. Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty tough, man. It's pretty tough. This one was canceled in November. This one was canceled a couple of weeks before. This is a different person. How crazy is that? How did Gina and Gina end up on the same, on like literally next to each other? Gina Sanfilippo and Gina Manzaferrario. How crazy is that? Their names even are like end in O. That is weird. That's weird. Is that weird? Or is that,
no,
it's not weird. Okay, just Gina, and then Sanfilippo and Mazzaferrario. That's not weird. And they're next to each other. And they cancel.
Well, look above. There's Lindy and Linda on the same day too.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy too. They cancel on the same day. Let's look at the cancel date. Did the same day clean and cancel on the same day? That's weird. I don't care who you are. That's weird. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, data. So, all right, Katie, what do you see in here? What do you see with this data?
Yeah, sales. It's the current constraint. Yeah. And cleaners. Sales and cleaners.
Guys, you guys don't have to go back and listen to all 40 calls, and you guys don't need to come back next week to listen again. Problem? More clients, more cleaners. That's all it is. That's all this game is, and it's just a matter of like when to gas which funnel, or like how do you just increase the gas on both funnels? I think really that's what it comes down to, is how do I just bring on more clients? Bring on more cleaners, and I also can bring on more clients. And that is just a game of attention. And so that's a game of how do you bring on people? How do you find people who are able to do just that? And so the problem that you guys saw that we had last week was our efficiency on sales was down. Our number of sales calls we got on was great, but we did not close them. And so if we don't close sales calls, Katie, then as a business owner, what needs to happen?
Coaching, sales coaching.
Oh, I thought it was just fire them. I thought it was firing everybody.
Well, that too, but then who does the sales?
Then I got to do the sales. So I don't know if I want to fire somebody, I guess. Yeah. So then it comes down to coaching. That's really what it comes down to. So it's you have to coach the people on how to increase the standard, and that is work, but it's less work than you going back in and actually doing sales yourself. So understand that it's always work. There's always work to be had, but you get more leverage by coaching somebody else than by you going back and doing it. Now, the first step of getting leverage is that how many of you guys actually have the skill of being able to make sales? How many of you guys have the skill of being able to efficiently make sales? How many of you guys can make 10 sales by yourself, make 20 sales by yourself, close at 50, 60, 70%? So you must have the skill first before you try to teach somebody else how to do it. And so this is what we're going through right now. For most people, would frustrate them. They would feel very scared because they're like, the person's not performing. And they'll get mad at them and get frustrated because they don't know how to help this person, because they themselves might not have the skill, or they just don't understand that this is part of the game. Like people are going to need constant training. They're going to need constant oversight. They're going to need constant help. And so just so you guys know what I'm going to do, what I have been doing is going back in, giving them the script, retraining, role-playing, letting them know that these standards are not being met, and it's my fault, and we're going to work harder. We're going to follow the script closer. We're going to be more convicted, and we're going to do a better job this week because we're going to put the work in. Because If we don't increase the standard, we can't fill cleaner schedules. If we can't fill cleaner schedules, then we don't have jobs. So, which is really cool to understand that you as the business owner, like you have that control, you have that power when you have the skill set itself. So every single person in here who wants to skip doing sales and you want to be like, I just want somebody else to do it. I want to hire a salesperson. Stupid. It's so stupid. And a lot of you guys in here have done that before, and it's okay. You were stupid. By definition, you're stupid. But by definition, you can also become smart by not making the same mistake again. The more you skip steps, you might feel like you're going faster right away, but eventually you're just going to go right back to where you were, and you're also going to drop a lot faster as well. The cleaning business is a very simple business. And it's taken me 4 years to understand what I understand now, the cleaning business, but it's very simple. It's really simple. There's certain skills that are required to grow this business. You need to know how to fill cleaner schedules. You need to know how to recruit and train and retain cleaners. That's really it. And I guess the other part of filling cleaner schedules, and you need to turn those initial cleans into recurrings. That's really the main skills you need to learn if you're going to grow a successful cleaning business. Okay. And so you must learn those things first. And then the next problem that people have is like, I'm tired of being the one who fills cleaner schedules. I'm the one tired of hiring the cleaners. Cool. Next step is then you giving up control to have somebody else take control over those systems and processes. And so then they can be the one who fill cleaner schedules. They can be the one who hires and trains the new cleaners. But until you understand how to do those things, you cannot teach somebody else how to do it. And so again, this is where I see a lot of mistakes happen, and even I made this mistake before, is that I don't know how to do one of these skills, so then I try to bring somebody else in, like, you figure it out. And then they figure it out for a second, and then they don't figure it out, and you're like, you suck. You suck. Because you don't know how to help that person. When they're struggling, you're like, oh, you're bad, versus like, here's what you need to do to get better. So, acquire the skill and then share it. That is the framework.
And then expect the person that you're sharing it with to suck at first too.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's going to suck.
Just like you did when you started.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with that being said, leadership. Leadership is how you scale this thing. And so if you actually want to grow $1 million business that operates without you, that also profits $200,000 a year, that's what you have in front of you. Is you must learn the skills and then be able to share the skills. And that's how you can build a business that does $1 million that also profits $200,000 a year. It's simple, but Katie, is it easy?
No.
Not even a little bit. And so if you expect it to be easy, you'll be disappointed. If you expected that clients will stick forever, you'll be disappointed. If you expect cleaners will stick forever, you'll be disappointed. If you expect cleaners to do what's in your best interest, you'll be disappointed. If you expect to skip the work and get the outcome, you'd be very disappointed. So disappointed that you'll turn into a little victim. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe. Those are words of victims. Expectations not met is because you set an improper expectation that like it should be easy. I should just have $1 million business. I should just be able to like hang out with my family and my kids and just like pay my groceries and my bills and like it shouldn't be difficult. You haven't done the freaking work. It's clear you haven't done the work because the outcomes are a direct reflection of the work you put in back here. Now, you could be doing work here And the outcome you're looking for is going to be into the future. But you don't get paid today on today's results. Today's results are a reflection of what you did a year ago, what you did 6 months ago. And so a lot of times also you're like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. It's like, cool, keep doing it for another 3 months, keep doing it for another 6 months, keep doing it for another year, and then you'll see the result. I think that's my job. It's just to help you guys with expectations, because as much as you guys think I'm yelling at you, I'm just yelling at myself, because I had all these expectations. I had all these beliefs. And today, Katie, I almost forgot. Today. Katie,
today.
What is today?
Today is Logan's entrepreneur anniversary.
Birthday. It's called birthday. Yeah. Today, 11 years ago, 2013, December 16, 2013, I started my first business.
And it was on a Monday.
And it was a Monday. It really was. Yeah. I left. I looked back behind me. I walked out of the gym. I started a personal training gym. I walked out of there that Friday before, and I started my gym on Monday. I walked out of there and I looked behind me. I'm like, how come nobody's following me? Like, don't they see what I see? Don't they see I'm gonna be rich? I can't believe these idiots. They don't see what I'm saying. Woo-wee. I was idiot. Oh my gosh. I knew absolutely nothing. I knew nothing for 3 years. 3.5 years, really. 3.5 years, but 3 years. I made $1,620 in profit in 3 years, my first 3 years. Like, good job. Right? So again, I don't yell at you guys. I just yell at myself. And a lot of you guys are somewhere in between where I am now versus where I started. And so I just want to help you guys out and help you in the best way I can help you out is just set proper expectations of how hard it's going to be, how much work it's going to be, and also like what is required. And as long as you're willing to learn the skill sets, it just becomes a matter of time, because that's really what the business is. If you just learn how to sell initial cleans, how to turn those initial cleans into conversions, how to recruit, train, and retain cleaners, and you're able to do those things consistently all at the same time, you can grow a $1 million business. And then be able to teach those skills is how you get yourself out of operating that business. It's very simple. So, I appreciate you guys so much. Happy Monday. If you guys are inside the coaching program, be on the call tomorrow. I'm going to be sharing a couple things that will be happening over the last couple weeks of 2024. Showing you guys what to look out for. If you guys are not part of the coaching program, too bad, so sad. Just joking. I'm sure James will drop a link if you guys are interested in applying to join it. So, but outside of that, super appreciate you guys. Morgan, good to see you. Justin, Jocelyn, super appreciate you guys. Jennifer, Alaya, super appreciate you. Kristen, Marie, Lori, Hannibal, Alyssa, Anishka. Appreciate you guys so much. Happy Monday. And if you guys are interested in the coaching program, we'll see you guys tomorrow on the coaching call. All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.